So this is the first and hopefully many videos that I'm going to make about my journey that I'm making from being employed and working at a school as a teacher, like for the last 15 years, moving towards self-employment, working online for myself. So I started a little while ago. I found out about Amazon KDP, and I found out about making puzzle books, and so I tried to learn as much as I could, watched videos on how to do it, and then just started through experimenting, and I actually purchased software so that I could edit and make puzzle books. And then I went through the whole process and got it up and running. Made my KDP account on Amazon, and then created the book, finished it, and published it. I got through the whole process and was able to do it. And then I did it a few more times. That was kind of at the beginning of the year, 2025. And then I published more, but much more slowly after that initial burst. It was during Chinese New Year, which is the biggest holiday of the year here in Taiwan. And then I got snowed under with work, and then tired and unmotivated when I would come home. So I eventually decided I don't want to do this anymore. I want to try something new. Anyway, to go back to the KDP, I published later on, like more recently, several more books. Up now I've got about 12. These books are like Sudoku. I think everyone knows what Sudoku is. It's kind of a puzzle that you have to figure out where to put the numbers. Anyways, and there's a grid. Anyway, you can learn about it somewhere else for now. Maybe I'll talk about it later. Kakuro, which is another kind of puzzle, kind of a mix between Sudoku and kind of crossword, mixing them together. You have to make them add up to the right amount. You can only use certain numbers, restrictions and stuff. It's a puzzle. Pretty cool, actually. I never had even heard about it before that. Crossword puzzle, word searches. So these are the kind of books that I was publishing, and I didn't do any advertising or anything like that, at least not yet. Eventually, maybe paid advertising, or maybe try to use social media to promote them. Anyway, look, these are some of the ones I ordered. So word search, a Sudoku, a Kakuro, crossword, another word search, another word search. So you can see they're different sizes too. Anyway, so I'll eventually I'll go back and keep pumping out more, and then maybe try and make packages or things like that. So that was one avenue that I decided I was going to do in trying to make money online. Haven't made almost any money yet, just a tiny little bit. But I kind of expected that, until I learned how to do it, and I learned how to promote and learn how to use keywords and all of the stuff that you have to learn. It's again an immense amount of stuff. Anyway, I finally decided I'm not gonna work full time anymore. So I finished my contract at my school, and I, after going to Canada for a trip to visit my parents with my brother, and then taking a little bit of a break after coming back. This is after like 15 years of working full time and getting like short vacation times and stuff. So I decided I've saved up some money, hopefully enough for a year or two, live frugally, and then get to making money online. So like I said, I recently produced a few more books, kind of like trying to make a series of Sudokus, make a series of Kakuros, And then I decided I need to get into YouTube now. So I watched a ton of stuff, trying to learn about how to make them, and what stuff you need, and then how to edit, and it's it's an immense amount of stuff that you have to learn to be able to produce good videos and stuff. And then you need to learn how to use certain tips that people give, like I try to use to make it more appealing or whatever, stuff like that. Anyhow, so I didn't have any real good equipment, so I was using this, my smartphone, and it's basically crap for trying to make decent videos for YouTube. Outside it's not too bad. If there's like light outside, sunlight especially, then things look okay from this side. From this side, they're still not very good, And if you can, I don't know if you can see it. It fell out of my pocket when I was driving my scooter in traffic, and I don't know if it got run over or just bumped and scraped and stuff like this. And I ended up finding, using Google, however, tracking or whatever it's called. And it was at a police station. Some nice person had picked it up and brought it to the police station. And then the location gave me the police station. I went there and I got it back. And they wanted proof, and I said, just give me the phone. And I did my password and opened up the seat. And okay, you're good. Can I say thank you to that nice person who brought it? And they said they didn't leave any information. So anonymous, nice person, whoever you are, thanks for getting me my phone back. I appreciate it a lot. Anyway, but to get back to the quality, it's inside especially, it's garbage. I made a video recently about grooming my dogs for the first time ever, and I did a lot of work on editing that. But I was using this as the as the camera, and it's a bathroom with white walls, white floor, white ceiling, that fluorescent white kind of light. Everything just kind of looked bleached. It wasn't focusing well. And anyway, that was a pretty big challenge just filming it, because one of my dogs, Puppy, the black one, if you ever end up watching the video, he was so scared. He's scared of everything. As a rescue from the street, so as a puppy, he was just curled in the corner. Anyway, so he's scared of everything that he doesn't know, and yeah, anyway, I get into it in the video. If you want, you can go and watch it. But basically it was like an experiment, a trial to run and see if I could use this. And then I used a program called DaVinci Resolve, which is fantastic. There's so many tools in it, so it's a really big learning curve. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of tools that you can use. And because it was such a crappy source material video, I had to like edit the coloring and the contrast and saturation and all of that to try and make it not look so bleached out. And then learning how to clip things together and make them work and stuff like that. So it was, and then the audio after doing the video, and I spent a whole day, a good part of one whole day, just doing the video editing, because I was learning as I was doing it. I'm watching videos, but use this and that. There are lots of good tutorials out there. And then was it the next day, maybe a couple days later, I worked on the audio, and I wanted to put some music in there. You have to be very careful with copyrighted music, and so decided to just go with YouTube's music library, so it's safe and I don't have to worry about it, and then you don't have to pay for a thing where they have all of this stuff where you can use. And anyway, yeah, I'm trying to do as much stuff as I can, like I say, living frugally, and as much as I can in the beginning right now, just do things for free. I've thought about paying for a few different things. I'll maybe talk about those things in another video. Yeah, like I've been learning so much about what's out there and how you can use it, and the AI tools that I've been learning about are amazing. So, you know, I've watched a lot and tried to learn a lot about them and that, but I haven't actually gone into them and even tried a free trial version of that. I mean, I'm using ChatGPT and Grok and Claude and, you know, the ones that you can, you know, sign in with your Google account and use them for free, but they cut you off after a very short time and they're so frustrating. I'll probably make another video about just trying to make a simple thumbnail for that video I was talking about grooming my dogs. Yeah, I'll make another video about that. That's ridiculous. Anyhow, so I decided I need better equipment. Now, I had an iPad which has just been sitting there collecting dust, which is what I'm using right now to record. And maybe I can, no. So it's way better quality. So I'm probably gonna use this for a couple of videos, because it's easy to just do it and upload it, and then I can edit and put it up on YouTube much faster than the rest. But I did go to, there's a store called Nova here, a huge tech store, 3 floors. After doing tons of research about the kind of equipment I would need to do vlogs or a blog maybe in the end, and just to make videos, excuse me, I did the research, watched comparative videos where they review and talk about the pros and the cons of each and stuff, and I decided on what I was going to buy. So there was, for a webcam, it would be the Logitech, if I remember, C920, if I remember right, which seems, you know, very popular. And you know, used especially for people, you know, doing YouTube videos and stuff like that. So I tried going online to there's a site called Shopee here. Everyone here uses it. Another called Momo. They're utterly useless, completely useless for, you know, if you can't read Chinese. And I can't read Chinese, so I just gave up on those. Amazon is way too expensive to import things. Those books I showed you earlier, it cost me more because I got publishers fees. You just pay for the price of printing them, and so it was quite cheap for the actual price of the books, but then I have them shipped here. That was a whole process that was very frustrating in the first place, because you have to register with the import thing and get this app and put your information in before they let anything in, and it was a whole story, and it cost more money to ship it here than it did for the actual books. But I wanted to have copies of the books that I had published, you know, just I wanted to have them, so I paid it and I got them. But anyway, the online route, that didn't work, and so I just went to that store, Nova, I'm telling you about. Now, I had specific things. I wanted that webcam I told you about, that Logitech webcam, and there's a microphone that also lots of people use. It's called the Blue Yeti. The Blue Yeti is you know, very, very widely used by people who make YouTube videos. Good quality, not too expensive, and that. Anyway, and then there were a couple other smaller mics that I had looked at. That one of the guys who reviews things and says, like, they're small and they're cheap, but they actually punch way above their weight. They're like very functional for very cheap. So anyway, I go to Nova. I literally go to stores all over the 3 floors of them, and I finally, to make it short, I finally found one store which had some of what I wanted. All right, the one that I was looking for, the Logitech C920, nobody had it, and they did have the next model, C922 Logitech, but it was a lot more expensive, and from what I was reading in reviews, it's not much better. It's like the next iPhone comes out, it hardly has any new features and something, you know, to make you pay so much money just to get a new one. So I just didn't want to get it. So there was another one which was actually cheaper. You're saying the quality isn't as good as the Logitech one, but I decided to get that one. The microphone they did have the small one, the Pel clip kind. Like anyway, you can clip it on here. It's a small little microphone and has a wire, and I haven't tried it yet, but I'm gonna try. I'll show you them in a minute. And then another one is a directional mic. It's also small, has a stand, and it only focuses on there. The one that clips on it's wide. It's widely focused. And then and then I just said, okay, that I'm gonna get these things, and I know that store now. I can go back. There's some other equipment that I might get later on, but for now, I didn't spend too much. Like just under $100 US, the equivalent of about just under $100 US. So not expensive, just basic equipment to get started and experiment with stuff. So this time I'm using the iPad to record. Next time I hope to install these things. So this is what I bought. So first, the webcam. So Avier Media. So this one here. And I'm gonna start experimenting with it and see how it looks and see how functional it is. It does have 2 microphones, which the one I wanted does. That's what I actually wanted, so that's good. But apparently this, like in the review, it's not as good as the Logitech one, but we'll see. Anyway, so that's it. And the one thing that they pointed out was it has 95-degree span, which is more than a lot of other cameras have actually. That's one. This is the directional mic I was talking about. So you put it on a stand, and I can just maybe put it on this phone stand and that. Or maybe just on the desk. Anyway, I'll figure it out. So that one's the directional one. So it blocks out all outside noise, like my dog's barking sometimes. Motorcycles going by, roaring by on the road. And the last one is the small one, the clip-on. So that's it. So I'm gonna set them up and give them a try and see how it goes. Did I forget anything? Yeah. I'm gonna hopefully make lots of videos like this, kind of updating me, doing things stage by stage. One of the first things I'm gonna do hopefully is like clear up my office here and make it more presentable and stuff, you know, for doing regular YouTube videos here. Kind of make it like my studio, and then there's all kinds of ideas after. Once I get used to doing this, producing them, editing them, putting them up, you know, and getting them out there and trying to get views, and eventually I have a whole bunch of other ideas which I'll get into in other videos later on. All right, that's it for now. Hope to see you next time.